Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to read to you a program called The Unexpectedness of 2020 Awaits You. And this is for you coming from the rat family in the animal kingdom, the rat family. And so you are going to be a person who is going to be under pressure. The planets of 2020 are not going to be very kind to you. And if you remain hasty and impatient and impulsive, you're going to find many downturns waiting for you. Not every day will be bad, not every week or month will be bad, but overall, you could land yourself into a lot of problems. How? By getting unexpected opportunities and not doing any research about it and letting your impulsiveness go for it. Don't do that in 2020 because if you try to do that, you, the rat, are going to be trapped. You will trap yourself because whatever you start, you won't be able to finish or you won't be able to sustain. And your plans will be always very big in 2020. And that will make it worse because when things collapse, they will collapse with a very loud noise. And that will be a danger for you. Tell yourself in 2020 to remain doing what you're doing. Try not to go into new areas. That would be a problem because when you go into something new in 2020, there are too many unexpected possibilities of things going wrong for you, not for everybody, for you coming from the rat family. So you'll have to treat 2020 as being very prepared before you want to do anything. And even if you carry on with this preparedness in 2020, even if you are doing things you've already been doing that you're so familiar with, still tell yourself the possibilities of things going wrong in 2020 are there all the time. And that's going to be a big hassle for you. So your attempts are going to meet many frustrations. Tell yourself to keep your feet on the ground. And whatever you do, be happy with whatever you can attain. I'm going to talk to you about your job first. In your area of job, the element of security is very low. So you can lose a job most unexpectedly anytime. And even if you manage to keep it, you will not be a happy person. And you can't afford to behave in a way that's very stubborn and dominating or very rude. It will make matters even worse. Tell yourself in 2020, if I value that job and if I want to stay on with the job, I'll have to be a very nice person who can be very flexible and negotiable and not stubborn. And be friendly with your workmates because you're going to need their help. You on your own are going to make mistakes. You are planned to make mistakes in 2020 which come suddenly and unexpectedly to attack you. That's the plan. So it's going to happen. So try to be prepared by having people around you who can perhaps see it better than you and help you in your job. Don't expect a big pay rise. Don't expect promotions. Just expect to remain in the job would be good enough. If you try to venture in new jobs, and even if you get a job most unexpectedly, which is a wonderful, spectacular one, it's going to become a nightmare for you sometime or another in 2020. If you happen to be in business, your exposure to risk will be even more because money is going to be out, not coming in. And why? Because the unexpected possibilities of your business are going to have bumps here and there, a very rough journey. And so you will see that either payments not given to you or what you do goes suddenly wrong and everything is not going to be payable. And bad news like this will come. And it'll come in a most unexpected way. So if you go slow and tackle everything in business step by step would be better. But you can't do that. You take on too much business. So don't take on too much business. Tell yourself, whatever I have, I'm going to consolidate, which means look after it and let it grow. Once you start to be an adventurer and doing things which are new and perhaps which you're not familiar with, you will be in deep trouble. And tell yourself business partnerships are going to be very bad. So it's better not to have partnerships in 2020. If you already have, then you'll have to be manage the thing very carefully. And also in areas of business, sometimes you'll get the opportunity of meeting people who will be able to talk about this and that in business. Don't get carried away because what suddenly is offered to you will suddenly disappear. Such is the kind of disappointment 2020 will bring. If you have a romance in 2020, and you could find a romance most unexpectedly. But that romance will be given to you to create trouble. That's the way I look at it. And however nice and wonderful that person is, it could be circumstances that make things difficult. So you have to be very careful to the new romance that you have. You have to be, or it can break away very fast and most unexpectedly. And if you value it, you'll have to be very careful what you say and do. And tell yourself, if you do find a new romance, it's going to be very taxing on you as well, in some way or another. If you have an ongoing romance, then tell yourself you have to treat your ongoing romance partner very carefully because you are going to be under stress. You are going to have anxiety levels, whether in business or in job. So you're going to lash out with your words and tell yourself you cannot afford to do that. You'll have to be very kind to this romance partner you have. Otherwise, that is going to weaken as well. If you happen to be married, if you happen to be married, well, tell yourself to keep the harmony, to try your best not to upset anything, because the unexpected will come in this way and that way. And even past issues may unexpectedly come up again. So in your marriage areas, it's going to be a bumpy ride. And of course, you can save it. You can save it by simply not allowing yourself to behave in a rebellious way, in a rude way, or to want to control. So be very flexible, be negotiable in your marriage area, and you will see that 2020 can be controlled. Regarding your health, I'm worried that, well, firstly, for you coming from the rat family, I'm very worried that your backbone, your spine is going to give you a lot of problems. And secondly, I'm very worried that your stomach and your colon, which is a large intestine, and your bowels are going to behave very badly. So be careful where you eat and be careful of unexpected changes that you make. And if you're going to travel to countries, get your hepatitis shot because your liver may also be damaged. So these are the few things I want to talk to you about. Well, in your health areas, it's all up to you to control. But the planets of 2020 have a brain of their own. And however careful you are, suddenly these unexpected issues will come. Suddenly the bad news may come. So I have a 90-minute session, and this is my email. Send me an email if you want to have a 90-minute session with me, and that will cost you USD $50. And during these 90 minutes, I'll talk to you about your next 8 or 9 years based on your date of birth, your time of birth, looking at your palms. And I will do that to help you to get the best out of your 8 or 9 years. And I will show you how to reach that supernatural energy that you have, that I have, that everybody has. The trick is how to connect to it. People who become so successful in the world, so great, so powerful, so happy, living in a life of luxury, they can't do it themselves. A human being doesn't have that energy. It is the connection of that soul in us or that energy force in us. So that is what we want to connect. And so whatever you do, once you have that connection, then you will be able to do it better than the rest. And that's when the fame and the importance in our life and the ability to be so inventive and do things, new things, all that will start to happen. And I'll teach you how to reach that level. And I will give you also the ability to create your own lucky lottery numbers. The formation of it, I will teach you how to do it step by step. And I will also show you how to get your lucky colors and your lucky gemstones and your lucky days and your lucky directions, all this information. These are all energies from the universe. And once you have them, you're going to be better than the rest. So this USD $50 will cover your next 8 or 9 years, age by age, calendar year by calendar year. I'll talk to you about it so that you will know exactly what's going to happen. And I'll give you all the solutions as well. So send me that email and I'll look forward you, the rat, coming from the animal kingdom, how to make you as lucky as possible. Well, until then, I wish you a good 2020. Take it easy and you'll be able to manage things better. Thank you and goodbye.